Good morning, fourth graders. I hope you're having a terrific Tuesday. Let's go ahead and get all prepared for language. You'll need your language book and, of course, a pencil. Let's go ahead and open up your language book to lesson 123. It's on page 241. Go ahead and pause the video if you need to at this time. Okay, are we all set? Today, we're going to take a little break in talking about adjectives, and today we're going to talk about adverbs. Now, I've written the word adverbs up on the board. Do you see a hidden word in the word adverbs? Hopefully you saw this word, verb. Did you see that right there? And that's exactly what an adverb describes. Adverbs describe verbs, and they answer a couple of questions. They answer the questions how, when, and where. How, when, and where. There's another sign that can usually tip us into knowing that a certain word is an adverb, and many of our adverbs will end in ly. Okay, so let's say the three questions together. Ready? How, when, where. One more time. How, when, where. And oftentimes adverbs will end in ly, so be on the lookout for that. I have three sentences up on the board. Let's take a look. The car stopped quickly. Let's go ahead and find the star of the sentence or the subject. Remember, the subject tells us who or what the entire sentence is about. This whole sentence is about what? Car. Some of you might have said the car. Yes, that's true. The car is the complete subject, but the simple subject is is car. The, remember from last time, is an article, and articles always are adjectives that describe nouns. Now that we have found the subject, let's find the verb. What is the car doing? It stopped. This is an action verb. Now, do you see that one word that's left? Did you notice what it ended with? An ly. Let's see if it answers one of our questions. The car stopped. How did it stop? Well, it stopped quickly. Quickly is an adverb telling us more information of just how that car stopped. It didn't stop very slowly. It quickly came to a stop. It gives us more information about the story or about our sentence. Let's look at the next sentence. The car stopped. Notice the same subject there. The car stopped finally. Who or what is this entire sentence about? Car. Which car? The car. The is an article, and articles are always adjectives. The car, what is the action that it's doing? It stopped. That's an action verb. Well, how did it stop? When did it stop? Finally, almost like we weren't really sure if it was going to stop, but it finally came to a stop. Let's go back to this first sentence again. Quickly answered the question what? How the car stopped. Finally tells us when the car stopped. Let's look at one sample sentence together. One more. The car stopped there. Who or what is the entire sentence about? Car. Which car? The car. What is the car doing? It stopped. Stopped is our action verb. How did it stop? When did it stop? Where did it stop? It stopped there. There is an adverb telling where the stopping occurred. Okay, so adverbs will answer those three questions. Let's say them together. How, when, and where. And what can an adverb often end with? An ly, yes. Okay, I have two more sentences I'd like to share with you this morning. As we're getting started and talking about our adverbs, let's take a look at this one here. The hungry dog waited happily in his house. Now, what I like to do is if there is a prepositional phrase in the sentence, I like to go ahead and find that first and mark that with parentheses. Then I'm all set to find my subject. We know that this whole sentence is about that hungry dog. Well, what is that hungry dog doing? It waited. Oh, doesn't he look like a good boy, just waiting so patiently and happily at that? Now, happily, did you notice that it ended with an ly? Happily is telling us more information about how he is waiting. He could have been waiting angrily or impatiently, but this dog is a good boy and he's waiting happily. Did you also notice that there were some adjectives in this sentence? It tells us more information about the dog. We're talking about a hungry dog. And which dog? The dog. Now, what I'm going to show you next, we also have his, is describing house. I'm going to show you now how to diagram this sentence. It starts the same way. You draw your line, then you cut your line in half. Your subject goes on the left. Our subject was dog. Our verb, waited, goes on the right. Just like we talked about in last week's lessons, the and hungry will go underneath dog on a diagonal line because they come in front of dog and are describing dog. The will come first because it came first in the sentence. Now it's time to diagram our adverb. Are you ready? I think it's going to be a lot easier than what you think. If you know how to diagram an adjective, you know how to diagram an adverb. The only difference is the adverb will be diagrammed underneath the verb that it is describing. So I'm going to draw a diagonal line underneath the action verb and happily will rest right on top. Okay? Now let's try one more just so that you can see and get a practice of this, how this whole diagramming is going to work. Okay, let's look at our next sentence. Oh my goodness, what's this about? Oh man. The green turtle slowly walked toward the finish line. That reminds me of an Aesop Fables, does it not? Okay, we have toward the finish line. That is our prepositional phrase. Remember, it's a good idea to find those first because you cannot have subjects or verbs inside of prepositional phrases. Never, never. So we have our verb, we have our subject. Turtle is what this sentence is about. What is that turtle doing? Well, he's walking. Let's see if we have some describers or some modifiers here. Which turtle? The turtle. What kind of turtle? It's the green turtle. Now, how is this turtle walking? He is walking slowly, slowly. Now, watch how this is diagrammed. We always start the same way. Draw a line, cut it in half. Subject on the left, verb on the right. We're going to diagram our adjectives. The goes there. Green goes next. Now it's time for us to diagram the adverb. How did this turtle walk? Slowly. So let's draw a diagonal line underneath walked, and then we're going to write slowly right on top. Okay, if you would go ahead and take a look at your book, please. There's a couple of things I want to point out to you. Let me share my screen with you. If you have your pencil, there's a few things I'd like for you to mark and draw your attention to. Let's take a look at the yellow box here at the very top. Please notice this, that adverbs describe what? They describe verbs. They describe verbs. Now, we have some different questions than what we had with adjectives, so it's important to know the difference. Let's go ahead and mark these questions. They tell how, when, or where something happens, okay? And then I'd like for you to also mark the ly there because oftentimes Oftentimes, an adverb will end with an ly. Not all the times, but often, okay? Let's go down to the guided practice and let's do that together. Our instructions tell us to circle the adverb that describes each underlined verb. Decide whether the adverb tells how, when, or where. Circle the correct answer. Let's look at number 1 together. The road runner quickly caught the rattlesnake. Notice they've already identified our verb for us. They were so nice. So now let's just go ahead and ask those 3 questions that we see to the side. Well, how did the road runner catch the rattlesnake? Well, he caught it quickly. He caught it quickly. So let's take our pencil here and let's circle quickly. Did you notice what quickly ended with? Yeah, an ly, an ly. Circle quickly. And let's circle the question that it answered, how. Okay, let's move on to number 2. Number 2, here we go. Gila monsters often live underneath rocks. Live is our action verb. Well, how do they live? I don't think it tells us. When do they live? They live often. Often is telling us when the living is taking place. Okay. Let's look at number 3. The vulture swooped down from the sky. The vulture scooped how? He scooped when? He scooped where? He scooped down. He scooped down. So adverbs can answer 3 questions: how, when, and where. Let's always be on the lookout for words that end in ly. Let's move down to numbers 4 through 7. This time, they're wanting us to find the action verbs first. Number 4, the great jerboa sleeps quietly in the daytime. What is the great jerboa doing? It sleeps. Let's underline it twice. 1, 2. Now let's ask our questions. How is it sleeping? Did you see that ly word? It's sleeping quietly. Circle quietly. There we go. Let's move on to number 5. Tonight, the great jerboa will hunt again. Careful with our verb here. This verb is taking place in the future tense. Remember, if we have a verb in the future tense, it will always be preceded by a special helping verb. Did you find it? Will hunt. Let's ask our 2 questions. Well, how will it hunt? When will it hunt? Ooh, it will hunt tonight. It will hunt tonight. You could also say it could hunt, it will hunt again. Number 6, it searches hungrily for seeds and insects. Let's find our action verb. Searches. Let's ask our 2 questions. How does it search? Ooh, it searches hungrily. Did you see that ly? That's our hint. Number 7, this small rodent digs nearby in the sand. What is the action that the rodent is doing? Digs. How does it dig? Doesn't say. When does it dig? Doesn't say. Where does it dig? Nearby. Some of you might have guessed in the sand. Well, yes, but did you notice what in the sand is? In the sand is a prepositional phrase. And you might have guessed for number 4, in the daytime, or number 6 for seeds and insects. Oftentimes, prepositional phrases will be either giving us more information about a noun. We call that an adjective. or giving us more information about a verb. The whole thing can be acting like one big adverb. But let's not talk about that now. But for those of you that were wondering, yes, in the sand does give us more information. Okay, let's move on to number 8. For number 8, these are sentences that need our help. They're okay the way that they are, but they're just lacking something. They're lacking an adverb. They're lacking some more details. The game will be played. Well, where will it be played? Some of you might be thinking a prepositional phrase, and that's fine. But let's see for right now if we can think of a one-word adverb. The game will be played outdoors. The game will be played here. The game will be played there. Where could this game be played? Write your answer on the line. I'm going to put outside because it's a beautiful day outside. Number 9, his birthday party is, it's important that we know when that birthday party is so that we can show up. His birthday party is, maybe it's today or tomorrow, soon. Put what you think on the line. Number 10. Now, let's see if we can practice our diagramming together. Diagram the simple subject, the verb, and all the adjectives and adverbs in this sentence. Don't worry, we'll take it one step at a time. The first step is to read our sentence. The large animal ate slowly. Who or what is this entire sentence about? The large animal. Yes, that is the complete subject. Now, out of those 3 words, let's find our simple subject. Is our whole sentence about the? Is it about large? Or is it about animal? It's about the animal. The animal is the star of the show. What is the action that this animal is doing? He's eating. He ate. So we have our subject, we have our action, verb. Well, what kind of animal? It's a large animal. Which animal? The animal. How is the animal eating? The animal is eating slowly. So slowly is describing the action verb ate. Now, let's put this to diagramming. Okay, they've already done the first step by drawing our line for us. Let's do the next step by cutting our line in half. Your subject goes on the left. What was our subject? Animal. Your verb goes on the right. What is the animal doing? Well, he ate. Let's take our adjectives, diagram them next on diagonal lines going underneath. The comes first in the sentence, so the comes first on the diagram. Large comes next. Lastly, let's end by diagramming that adverb. How is the large animal eating? Well, he ate slowly. Draw a diagonal line underneath ate and write slowly. Very good. Okay, did you notice something about the adjectives and the adverbs? When you diagram them, they always go underneath the word that they are describing in the diagram. All right, but as we're ending, let's go ahead and review by saying those 3 adverb questions together. Adverbs answer how, when, and where. Let's say them together. How, when, and where. And what can adverbs often end with? An ly, so be on the lookout for that. All right, guys, go ahead and turn to page 242. This is your independent practice page. It looks exactly like the front page. You are finding the adverbs, circling the question that it answers. In the next section, you're locating the action verb and the adverb. And then towards the end, you're doing two other things. You're adding some adverbs into your sentence to make them more interesting, and you're finishing with your diagramming and even writing your own creative sentence by including some adverbs. I can't wait to hear your sentence. Okay, guys, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.